Welcome. Welcome today for Dirty Jokes. In this dirty, so-called dirty jokes, you will see the divinity of joy in it. Then you know nothing is dirty, nothing is clean, nothing is good or bad. It's meant to be. They all come from the same source. There is no two gods or two godliness or two. It's all one source, one ocean. I am the drop, I am the wave, and I am the ocean. I am the good and the bad and this and that. But we put labels. Now today we are going beyond labels. So the first thing is take a deep breath, and the deep breath will take you to the depth of the ocean that's inside. And that acceptance, like all the babies, this is where they breathe from. Oh, there's nothing good or bad today, just the icon. And then in this icon, I can. That's the icon of everyone. So the deep breath, not shallow, deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like digging and digging and digging. Okay, change the roots. Okay, change the soil. That's great. Have a new seed. And then a new tree and a new fragrance, new fruits, new roots, new fruits. That's the beauty of breath. That's the power of this birth and death and resurrection. So then people, they start telling, jokes, or they're telling, politics or whatever. And you look at it from different windows, from different doors, from different holes. And you say, okay, there is a reason. Life without a laughter, there is no door. Laughter is a door to the divinity in us. We all laugh, we all expect, when we tell a joke, it's going to be about sex and mother-in-law, father-in-law, something like this, which is the places, anything that feelings we are repressed. Okay, 90% about sex. But look at this one. Only a farm kid, a farm kid is talking just, what mom and dad are telling, and so it's natural for him. When you are from the country, your perception is a little bit different. The country people, it's not like the city ones, it's just for them, whatever they see in the farm is natural. A Queensland farmer drove to a neighbor's farmhouse in his place and knocked at the door. A boy about 9 years old opened the door. "Is your dad home?" said the farmer. "No, mate, he is not. He went to town." "Well, is your mother here?" "No, she went to town with dad." "How about your brother, Howard? Is he here?" "No, mate, he went with mom and dad." The farmer stood there for a few minutes, shifting from one foot to another and mumbling to himself. "Is there anything I can do for you? I know where all the tools are if you want to borrow one, or I can give dad a message," said the little boy. "Well," said the farmer uncomfortably, "I really wanted to talk to your dad. It's about your brother Howard getting my daughter Susie pregnant." "Oh," the boy thought for a moment. "You would have to talk to dad about that. I know he charges $500 for the bull and $50 for the pig, but I don't know how much he charges for Howard." It's like he's in the farm, and everybody is fucking all the animals, they fuck each other, and he charges price for this and price for this and price for my brother fucking your daughter and making her pregnant. Really, I don't know this price. I will ask my dad. It's so normal for the boy, but he never thought about this, but not normal for the other one. So what are we doing to each other? Like now in Lebanon, to wear a t-shirt, no need to be fucked anymore. The government is fucking us. All our government is impotent. Nobody can fuck you anymore. They can't fuck anybody, you know. But they fuck the pocket, yes. And here, apartment for rent. This is funny, something to start the day off. A businessman met a beautiful girl. He met a beautiful girl and agreed to spend the night with her for $500. They did that thing, and before he left, he told her that he did not have any cash on him, but he would have his secretary write a check and mail it to her, calling the payment rent for apartment. You know, just. On the way to the office, he regretted what he had done, realizing that the whole event had not been worth the price. So he had his secretary send a check for $250 and enclosed the following type note. Dear Madame, enclosed find a check for $250 for rent of your apartment. I'm not sending the amount agreed upon because when I rented the place, I was under impression that, number one, you know, all this expectation when we go out with anyone, a man or a woman or whatever we want to buy, or what is the contract. Impression that, number one, it had never been occupied. There was plenty of heat, and it was small enough to make me feel cozy at home. However, I found out that it had been previously occupied. There wasn't any heat, and it was entirely too large. Upon receipt of the note, the girl immediately returned the check for $250 with the following note, because the impression was it had never been occupied, there was plenty of heat, and it was small enough to know all this to make me feel cozy at home. However, I found that Dear sir, number one, I cannot understand how you could expect a beautiful apartment to remain unoccupied indefinitely. Number one, as for the heat, there is plenty of it if you know how to turn it on. 3, regarding the space, the apartment is indeed of regular size, but if you don't have enough furniture to fill it, please do not blame the management. So please send the rent in full, or we will be forced to contact your present landlady. So she knows how to deal with it. She knows what she is doing. But he's a businessman. She's a being. She knows that this is your question and this is my answer. What are you judging, you know? You have a small penis and you didn't know how to turn the heat on. You don't know how to be with me, and you want to cut the price? I'll ask for more. And she knows by how to deal, how to talk. If we know how to talk with business people, the people that they are into this mafia, priests and politicians or whatever institutes, then we have a deal. And that deal may be for peace or for war, but at least we know how to talk with. Now, watch out, all these politicians. They are all politics, polititis. All the doctors, the hospitals, the beardo people, priest politician, or PPPPP. Like Lebanon became a porno place for porno people, and everybody is proud of this. That my son is 8 years old, but he's being fucked with the very rich people. They come from the Arab world, from the Emirat. My daughter, she's 13, but she's been used with so many princes because she's so beautiful. And so what for? To buy more cars and homes and phones and furnitures. So we are all victims of this, our ignorance. We don't know. The marriage of an 80-year-old man and 20-year-old woman was the talk of the town. After being married a year, the couple went to the hospital for the birth of their first child. The attending nurse came out of the delivery room to congratulate the old gentleman and said, "This is amazing. How do you do it at your age?" Oh, the old man grinned and said, "You got to keep the old motor running." The following year, the couple returned to the hospital for the birth of their second child. The same nurse was attending the delivery and again went out to congratulate the old gentleman. She said, "Sir, you are something very special. What's going on? How do you manage this?" The old man grinned and said, "You got to keep the old motor running." A year later, the couple returned to the hospital for the birth of their third child. The same nurse was there for this birth also, and after the delivery, approached the old man, gentleman, smiled and said, "Well, you surely are something, awesome, Neil here. How do you do it?" The old man replied, "It's like I have told you before. You have to keep the old motor running all the time." The nurse, still smiling, patted him on the back and said, "Well, I guess it's time to change the oil. This one is black." So, you can lie the first time or the second time, but you can't keep it on. A man was 80 and the girl gave birth to the first child, and the doctor looked at him and looked at her and, he said, "How come?" He examined the man. He's so weak. No erection, no fertility, nothing. He couldn't tell him anything, so he said, "Look, I'm going to tell you a story. There was a lion somewhere, and a man, a hunter, killed the lion with an umbrella, and the lion was killed with an umbrella." And the old man said, "No, the umbrella doesn't kill the lion. There must be somebody else who had..." "Okay," he said, "then the answer for you, that about this child and you. So you have the answer. You cannot make this woman pregnant, It's somebody else who did it, not you. So be aware when you are into this business, so-called. A rich man goes with a young teenager because of you are rich. If you don't have the money, nobody can come to you. But once when you are poor, not even your wife or your children. So be aware of yourself. You are not a body, and you are not a penis, you are not a hot dog. It's good when you use it before you lose it, in the right time, right place. But at the age of 60, 70, 80, 90, it's time to relax, it's time to go in, it's time to be not celibate, but celebrate. But you feel so guilty, or you feel you are not alive, or you feel you lost all this, now it's time for fucking. What are you doing to your body, to yourself, to your soul? Where are you going? In few hours or a few days or few years, you are leaving this body. Any funeral is my funeral. You are holding now, but few days later, somebody is holding you. So nobody is aware that maybe the second breath doesn't come. Death has no age and no time. But it's the death of the body. It's back to earth, dust to dust. But feel your lust. So every joke, every sex power or sex energy, just face it and see that everything is sex. With all the senses, all the eyes, all the touches, all these senses, go to the inside and start seeing your vision.